Welcome back to the channel. My name is Patrick, and today's video something different. I'm going to give you an update on what I've been up to, the trade I took this morning, and I'm going to throw in a bonus. Stick to the end, I'll throw in the bonus. So quick update. I've had a few changes in my routine and schedule. I stopped doing my part-time job. I'm no longer doing that. I'm not interested in doing that anymore. So now I'm trying to find another hobby. And because of that transition, I just haven't been motivated to be posting. But I am still here. I am still here and I am still trading. And I'm going to walk you through the trade I took today. It's really routine for me right now, okay? Let's start from H1. I'll show you what I can see. So H1, we were previously trending here, had a reversal here, and it started creating lower highs. Before it was creating higher highs here. So a high here, a low, a higher high, a higher low, and a higher high. Got up here and it stopped. It created a lower high, went down, created a lower low, came up here. So you'd expect this now to create a lower high, which it did, and it then went on to create a lower low, right? Up here you would expect the same, but it didn't, because sometimes the market just plays about. It came here, stopped everyone out who was sitting on here, sitting around there, and anyone who tried to sell this, it played them, took them all out, then when I did the lower low. So this is why I scout, this is why I try to keep it simple. I don't want to be stuck in a move, waiting for emotions to get involved, waiting for the market to manipulate and get me out. I just scout the move and I'm out. So scout this, could scout this, could have scout this one based on that. You could even scout this based on that. So simple, supply, new zone, sold from there, and it's went down. So where are we now? We're in demand. So price pushed it all the way down to this demand, okay? This demand was used. It pushed it to this unused demand, put in a reversal pattern here. That's where we are on the lower time frame here, and I took the trade. Let me just show you my trade history. Not a lot to show you there. So took the scalp here. So we had a high, a lower high, lower high, lower high here, another lower high, and in the process of creating lower lows, right? Here it failed to create a lower low, okay? So it then came up here and broke this structure there. That should have been my entry. I was making breakfast for my kids, so I missed that entry here, but I got it a minute or two later. Scalped it quickly for what I was going for, and I made my 0.5 today. Very simple. That's how I keep it. 0.5 per day, that's it, right? So that was today's trade. So there's not a lot to show you, and that's why I haven't been posting a lot, because you've seen what I've been up to. You know it works. I'm just doing it routinely now. It's not a lot to show you. But however, I did discover something which I will share in the next video. It has a lot to do with losses, okay? So occasionally I take losses, so it gives me the structure, but it does not work out. What do I do then? So it has a lot to do with that, and I may talk about it in the next video, okay? We'll see. If I'm motivated enough, I'll talk about it in the next video. But in this video, what I want to give you as a bonus, something for you to be considering and maybe should be paying attention to. How do you catch these moves? Okay, so H1, zoom in a little bit here. H1, what you should do, what I recommend you should do is this, okay? Now every pair is different, so it's not all applicable, because some pairs are slightly more volatile. So it may give you the same price action pattern that I trade, but because of the volatility, it may stop you right then go, but it still works. It's all based on supply and demand. I traded NAS 100 the other day, and it was the same thing. But I'm going to show you on this, on USD, you back test this, and then back test it with other pairs, whatever your favorite pairs, and find the right combination of risk to reward and entry points, all these things based on, hold on one second, I got a message, remind me later. All these things based on supply and demand. You can trade these pairs in a very similar pattern, but try to stick to one pair, focus and learn how that pair behaves, and then consistently you can find trades, okay? So this is what I want you to do, okay? Higher time frame, get a toolbox here. Let's get the squares, get a rectangle, and this is what I want you to do, okay? All these swing points, so there's a swing point here from the higher time frame. There's a swing point here, there's a swing point here, there's a swing point here, there's a swing point here. All these swing points, just mark them out for now, okay? We're not talking about how to use them to trade, even though you can see that these are valid zones to use to trade. For now, what you want to do, just mark them out, even the ones that no longer are valid or that's being used already. We're not talking about trading right now, we're just marking out these swing points, okay? All these swing points, and I'm going to show you why in a second. This is what I did, and this is how I came across my discovery. Now I've become a little bit suspicious and wary that if I share a lot of my a lot of what I learned, it becomes common knowledge, and the more it becomes common knowledge, the more likely the powers that be will design algorithms to make sure they stop me out before they go. And I really believe that's what's happening. That's why I've taken more losses. But like I said, I've adjusted. I've based it. I looked at the price action and I made my adjustments. And the reason I say that is everyone takes losses, and the more common your setup is, the more likely you're going to take losses often, because they will give you your setup, show you what you want to see, you get drawn into the market, and boom, you're out, and then they go in your direction, kind of thing. We've got a few zones here. I've done this in the past when we did some back testing, but not like this, okay? So we've got a few zones now. What I want you to do is do this, okay? Go back to those zones. Once you mark it out on the higher time frame, go to a lower time frame, and then just zoom in and look for a set price action, okay? This is what I do routinely now. This is my, hold on, this is how I trade now, okay? So zoom in there. Let's go to the first one. What do we have? We have a trend coming up, okay? So it's coming up, it's going to supply, we want to sell it. It gets into a supply zone. We just need our confirmation that price wants to go down. I do not use indicators, I use price action as my confirmation, okay? So we have a low here, a high here, a higher low, eventually creates a higher high here. And look, this is a support and resistance. As I mentioned, it gives you everything you want to see. Shows you, it makes you think it's going down. Then what does it do? It drives up, takes anyone out. I bet that took it out. I bet that ran about 10 pips. I bet that, let me just quickly check. That probably ran about 10 pips. But because support resistance, you usually put your stop loss about 10 pips above this zone, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know, but I bet this ran about 10 pips. 16 pips, okay? Yeah, so if you are trading support and resistance, this drive was simply to get you out before it went down, okay? So what I trade is based off supply and demand, and I use price action to confirm my entry. So where were we? We had a higher low here, a higher high, higher low, drives it all out, gets everyone here out, taps into the supply zone on a higher time frame, a key price point here, and then what does it do? It changes structure here. Look, there's the high, then this is a lower high now. It comes down, pulls up, this is another lower high. It drives down here, consolidates through the session. Is the session, what does it do? It comes up, respects that last lower high, and creates a lower low. And you can see the reversal of the trend there, right? Okay, forget trading this right now. I just want to illustrate something. If you keep on going back, zoom, go back to all the zones we marked out, you see the same thing. We have a trend here, we have a high, a low, a high, a low. So it's coming down, pushing it down towards a demand zone. What do we have here? We have let's just zoom in again. There we go. We have a lower high, a new low, a lower high again, a lower low, and here what does it do? It breaks the structure there. Okay, do you enter there? No, I need to see a trend forming. So what happens here? It comes down here, This low respects that last low. So now it holds and then it breaks structure, because now it's created a low, a higher low, there's the high, and there's a higher high. So that's the start of a trend. So there again, potentially you could have scalped this move, but obviously looking at the time, you couldn't have scalped it because it's in the Asian session. If you trade Asian session, you could have scalped that up. Okay, so right now we're not talking about trading, we're just looking at the price action. This is how I confirm my strategy and how I find my scalps. Okay, so if you do this consistently, you see the same thing. Look, trending here a little bit, consolidating really, then what does it do? It drives down, comes up, fakes like it's continuing, pushes up, flags, then pulls up there. So the next time it pulls in, there's an entry there, and you could continue taking that up. Okay, so that's confirmation on the lower time frame based on what's going on the higher time frame. If you zoom out on the higher time frame, again, all you see is the same price action. We know price moves in a pole, a flag, pole formation, yeah? So that's what we're seeing on the higher time frame here. Pole, a flag, pole formation. But if you look, the swing point, it makes sense. This is the pole, and this is the creation of the flag. That's my price action that I trade on the lower time frame. Then I get the low, it breaks structure. That's my confirmation. Is changing directions. I enter and I get that drive up. That's how I use the 2 time frames to work to find my scalps based on what's going on. So it just makes sense. This is the structure of the market. This is also based on supply and demand. It makes sense where buyers and sellers are getting involved. You know, this is the high here. This is where it's sold down, broke all the structure, come back here. This is a better price point than this, and it's selling from here. This was a good price point, but it was manipulation to drive people to follow this trend down, took them out. You know, made money by taking all these people out here on these highs here, got in there and drove down again. It makes sense. Now, even though I took this scalp up, this should be dropping down to go further down to take potentially these lows out. If people are still sitting in there, people are still trying to trade this up. This is a reversal right now, and it could drive all the way down to get these lower lows. Okay, that's how the market moves. I just scalp it. I'm not sitting around waiting for the manipulation. I look for a set price action, take my scalp, and I'm gone. Okay, so what I recommend for you to do is study the pair you trade. Okay, that's my recommendation. I normally don't do that, but that's my recommendation. Box out these swing points, go to a lower time frame, look for the price action that I'm talking about, and you'll see consistently, no matter the pair or instrument, you're going to see the same price action. Now, if you don't see it on M5, you see it on M1. And if you do as I suggested and you box it all out, you'll find this has been very useful information, people. Hit the like button. If you want more videos, hit the subscribe button, show the love, and I'll try to get more videos and examples out to you guys, okay? This is Patrick signing out. Until next time, peace.